Ta-da. All right. Hi, Ida. This is Dan Witzling. I'm the Senior Executive Director for American Cancer Society here in the Los Angeles area in the USA. I'm here with Ida. Like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm great. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Idah Phiri from Zambian Cancer Society. I'm chairperson of Cancer Smart Youth Zambia, and I'm also admin and communications officer for the Zambian Cancer Society.
Great. We first met maybe a year or so ago, or even longer. I think we connected working on the Love Notes project when we were looking for songs from around the world, and you were helping out. So,
yeah.
And we've been keeping in touch off and on ever since. Yeah. So we're talking today because February 4th is World Cancer Day, and wanted to just share a little bit about how our organizations are doing and how we're doing, and our kind of hopes and visions for the year. How are things going in Zambia right now?
Things are going on well here. I'm very excited and happy. So this year's commemoration is going to be on the Copper Belt, not in the capital city. So it's on the Copper Belt because this year's theme is closing the care gap. So we want to close the care gap where information is concerned. We want to make sure we reach out to as many people as possible. And then where the commemoration will be is where the government is planning to put up another social mobilization and just get people know the services, different services that are offered and where to access what. Because normally what goes on here is people don't have correct information. And even when they have signs and symptoms, they don't know where to go. So that's what we want to reach out to the different people. So I'm excited. The Cancer Smart Youth is participating. The Zambian Cancer Society has got a very key role in the commemoration here.
That's great. So in Los Angeles, we're definitely looking at some similarly with access and equity, some of the disparities that exist in terms of people who are getting cancer screenings, some of which were put off during the pandemic, and there's also just a lot of confusion and lack of understanding of when to get screened for what, and a lot of different reasons and barriers to the process. And so we've been reaching out a lot to different groups, forming different partnerships as ways to really help communities to re-engage better with their healthcare system, but also in their own lives, thinking about cancer and what can we do at home, thinking about physical activity, thinking about healthy eating, just lifestyle choices that can also help us to reduce our risk. That's really strong emphasis for what we're trying to accomplish. So that's great. How long have you been involved? How long have you been involved with the Zambian Cancer Society?
All right. So with the Zambian Cancer Society, our focus is on two areas. One, we are focusing on cervical cancer because cervical cancer here in Zambia affects 40.2 of the total numbers of all the cancers in the country. So we are going to be focusing on cervical cancer. So we are looking at the signs and symptoms. We are looking at the treatments for cervical cancer. And we're also looking at precancerous lesions because when people go for screening, they're expecting two answers. Either you have cancer or you don't have cancer, but we forget that there are also pre-cancer cells which are supposed to be treated. And of course, they're very curable if detected at an early stage. So that's one part that we are going to get involved in. And then we have our survivors, our volunteers that are going to share their stories. Yeah. And then on the other angle, it's the youth part. So we have under the Zambian Cancer Society,
It looks like the screen might have froze. Hopefully we'll reconnect in just a second. I might have lost you.
Just put my phone on silent.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's a long
Okay.
distance phone
So,
call, so things like that will happen.
yeah.
So you were talking about
Okay.
what the youth are doing.
Okay, so the Cancer Smart Youth is a club that creates a safe space for the young people. Our aim is to promote health and wellness among the youth by, of course, raising awareness of cancer's risk factors. We are talking about eating healthy, drinking a lot of water, having regular exercise, avoiding alcohol, staying away from all tobacco-related products, because nowadays, what is really common now here in Zambia, the young people are using tobacco like no man's business. It's like a trend, it's like in style. And these are lifestyles or habits that puts us at a higher risk of getting cancer in the future. So this year, we are really relaunching the Cancer Smart Youth Club, and we want to reach out to as many people as possible. We want to recruit many people on board. So that's also one area that we're going to focus on at the World Cancer Day. We're going to have a booth, a table, we'll share information, we'll share flyers. We're going to have a youth-friendly corner where youths will be free to express their feelings, reasons for smoking or for doing certain things, or just how they can go on and replace bad behaviors with good behaviors. And of course, just doing the right thing at the right time. So it's healthy living in short.
Absolutely. I'm curious when you talk about cervical, because we're spending a lot of time working on a campaign called HPV Cancer Free, trying to promote the HPV vaccine. That we saw definitely a big decrease in the number of people getting, trying to get more youth and teens vaccinated against HPV virus, which we know is a strong contributor for cervical, with kind of a vision that if every kid gets their vaccine, then we can eradicate cervical cancer. So it sounds like we have that in common.
Okay.
That's great.
That's very good. Meaning we have that in common, because we're also looking at the HPV vaccine, the importance of having it. And then, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions that go on around here. So there are all sorts of myths, say once you've been vaccinated, maybe you might not be able to conceive. Once you're vaccinated with the HPV vaccine, you will never get cervical cancer. But these are just myths that are going on. So we also want to put up facts and give correct information to the general public.
Yeah, it sounds like we have that in common as well. And then even when you talk about youth and tobacco, vaping became a very kind of sinister problem out here, where people are separating. I'll never touch a cigarette. Cigarettes are terrible, but they have no problem with vaping and some other forms that they're actually ingesting nicotine. So we're trying to do things at the policy level. And I think that is also going to play a big part of our year with World Tobacco Day and World Cancer Day, and anything that we can do to really address kind of youth. So I think we have that in common as well.
Yeah.
So great. So let me just ask, or I guess two questions. Is there anything you would want to share with Los Angeles or anybody here on this side? Any messages that you would share for World Cancer Day?
One first, before I forget, one of the activities that we are doing. So for us here in Zambia, World Cancer Day, we not only have one activity on the 4th, but we've actually had a drive to World Cancer Day. So we've been featuring on different media platforms, TV, radio, and so on and so forth. So throughout the month of February, we will be doing different activities. And on 15th February is Childhood Cancer Awareness Day. And what we're going to do, because we have some of the love notes that you sent, so we are donating these, we are giving these love notes to a children's cancer home. Alongside, we're also donating other things like beddings and the like. So this is something I'm looking forward to. I've shared with the children who are living with cancer that I'm bringing some love notes to you guys, and they're excited, they're happy, they want to receive them. So thank you so much from your team Los Angeles, for the love notes. Thank you very much. Zambian Cancer Society is so happy, and the children are very excited to receive these love notes. They actually asked me if I can bring them before the day, and I was like, please, hold on, they're coming.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure that we continue to share, because I know people are so excited to create them, and wanting to do more ways to have just caring, compassion, and connection. That's really something that we felt very strongly about, especially over the past few years when it's been harder to connect people. But in some ways, it's been easier to connect, or for me with you, and some of that. So I'm looking forward to ways that we can stay connected, share ideas, learn about your activities, because you have so much going on, and just to continue to keep that line of communication open and help each other communities out as best as we can.
Thank you.
So happy World Cancer Day.
Thank you. Happy World Cancer Day to you.
Great. All right.